Oh, yeah. We got it all. Let's go. This is 1100 WSG. I'm LaVern, and yes, this is one street over. I actually got started a little early today, guys. How about that? We just, the song was ended, and I was like, well, let's just go ahead and start ours. So, hey. This is, again, I'm LaVern. Terry Martin's in the house.
Hey.
He's filling in one of those slots where I'm like, I need somebody to fill in. Come on. I know you're on the way to work at this hour, and I think, okay, I can grab Terry because Shawn Elmore is supposed to be here. Not really supposed to be here. We all have known all along trying to get her here today would be difficult because today is the big gala for Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. So the plan is we're going to try to get her via a phone call. But I thought, because you handle, I just thought it would be a really fun time to kind of talk. Number one, we need an update on baseball fields. The last time I talked to you, we were still iced in. We still had ice.
Yeah.
Right. So just kind of update us on if we had any damage, anything like that from the ice, because it could happen, anything concerned like that. But I also want you to really talk about the center and its availability for events like the gala and how many that, we've talked about that in the past, but I think people really forget because if you go tonight, you're going to walk in and you're going to be like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Adele and I talked a little bit about that on Thursday. She came in from the chamber and we talked about the sugar plum ball and how.
What's new with that?
Huh?
What's new with that? Does she have anything new?
Well, it's earlier. Yes, it's in November now. And the reason why is because December's just insanely busy. And I'm tickled because it's actually going to be more, because since they've brought it back, every time they put the date out, I'm like, I can't go because I've got family stuff.
Yeah.
Because we never do holiday stuff on the day. And plus we have 3 birthdays in December.
Right.
And holiday stuff. And it's just impossible for us. The days it's hit. Same reason why I don't get to the tour of homes and things like that the historic, it's always something with family because we're either going to this birthday because so-and-so's birthday was this week. So we're having lunch at this day and and all the things. And so I'm thrilled because my anniversary is on the 5th. So it's like the week after my anniversary.
Okay.
So I'm like, it's prom for adults, y'all. It's what it is. It's prom for grown-ups.
I think it's a great kickoff into the holidays, and I think it'll do good.
I think so too. Yeah. I'm tickled. I'm really glad they're doing it, and she made that big. She let that cat out of the bag, and there's a few other things they got going on at the chamber, but that's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be good.
So talk to me about events. If I wanted to have a party there, what's involved? Can I come and have a birthday party?
Yeah, just come through the front doors and throw a party.
Is it expensive? Because venues are pricey.
It does vary. I mean, everything's broke down into different prices: the chairs, the tables, the drapes. The center itself. Standby for a city employee to be there. Are you going to have alcohol? Are you not going to have alcohol? If you're going to have alcohol, you got to have a city. You got to go to the city of Springfield Police Department. Line a police officer to be there.
Okay.
We just started that. Yeah. We started that this new calendar year just because we've had some issues in the past, that we've had to call them.
Somebody got overserved.
Yeah, to come down there. So it makes sense for them to be there.
Right. That's a good idea.
So that's our policy. Well,
and she's saying that we can call this morning. Okay. I'll call you in just a minute, Shawn, if you're listening. But that's one of the things that you just don't realize that it's available. And I would imagine that the draping that you do in the center of it is probably costly. I mean, if you want that, is that a hard thing to do to get that? It's a parachute, isn't it?
Oh, the parachute?
Yeah.
No, the parachute's very inexpensive. It doesn't cost much. Yeah.
I would think that would be a hard thing to do.
No, it's not expensive at all. We just hook it. We've got a cable in the middle of the gym that we lower and connect it to it and raise it up, and then we'll tie it off to the top rails. So
really,
yeah,
okay. Well, that's really cool, and that's all you do.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's all you do.
Yeah,
for us, it's like that because we've been doing it for so many years, and staff's got it down really, really. They got it down good.
And you tie it up to the top rails of the the
railing that goes around the walking
area.
trail.
So, as I'm sitting here thinking about, boy, it'd be really cool if you put some lights in behind that.
Because it's a real cargo chute.
It's a cargo chute?
Like if they were going to throw a Jeep out of an airplane.
Oh, I was wondering where y'all got one that big. I've got several parachutes.
It's that size.
Yeah. I've got a bunch.
We've had people, what if we what if we were to buy a white one or a red one? Can y'all put it up? I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, if you go on Amazon and think you're going to get a parachute that's going to fit that area, you're not.
You're not. No way.
We've tried. We've looked.
Got like 6 or 7 that I bought at a surplus store that's regular, single person parachutes.
Yeah.
My kids have played. I got them when my kids were little.
Yeah.
I still have them. And we still get them out and mess with them.
That's
and
cool.
I mean, we've had them forever, and they're in army bags.
Yeah.
And
they're small.
In the barn. Yeah. They're much smaller. But I've got like this little terrace thing that I can even drape and turn it into like a tunnel, and all this with those parachutes. And they're not bad either to kind of throw over your fragile plants to keep the frost off of them.
There you go.
That's worked.
Yeah.
Before.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now I
Throw
did
those out and then spray some water on them.
I watched the and you don't have to use our parachute. I watched the Sugar Plum Ball one year. They ran cables across the gym from rail to rail, and then they draped this fabric under on top.
Cloth.
Like four runs of it.
Yeah, but
it really looked good.
That tobacco cloth that you can get, that stuff that you see draped at all the venues that's hanging, that's tobacco cloth.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I had no idea that's what it was, but I ended up getting some of it for one of my son's weddings. They were looking for that tulle stuff that it's like a fab. You have to buy it by the roll. Well, you can go to the co-op and get tobacco cloth for $100 and get all you'll ever need.
Yeah.
For a wedding, if you're just doing a wedding, and it's so airy looking and it just looks beautiful. But that's what they have hanging up in those barns and all of that.
Yeah.
And I've done some stuff with photography with it, but it's not real super durable.
This was like a white silky material.
Okay, so it may have been that
they ran through there, and it was. It really looked good.
I bet it did.
There's been some great imagination ideas that have come in there, and
that's really cool.
Yeah. Then we drape the walls. If you want the drapes, you can.
That's just the black draping.
Pay for the draping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've had that. We'd use that. That's always there, it seems like, when we do the recovery court graduation. Because we do recovery court graduation and the drapes are up.
Yeah.
And I've never really even thought about it. But we have that draping up, and I've never even thought about that. But recovery court graduation, we have that.
You can get one wall done, 2 walls done, all walls done.
And it may be that we just do like the back
I think
and
it
the
is.
front.
I think it is. I think it's a certain, for that event, I think it's just certain.
Okay. But and y'all have tables available?
Tables.
So how many do you have enough for? Do you have enough for open door tonight, or did they have to bring other tables in? Because I know they got as many tables in there as you possibly can.
They used, I think we have 47 rectangle. They used all of our rectangle tables, but I don't know if they're having. I don't know
they're
if
bringing some circular.
If that's a food line or but most people use our rounds. So we have 40 rounds.
Okay.
They hold 8.
Yeah.
They'll hold 10, but 8 comfortably.
Yeah.
So
I think there's 10 at ours tonight. She's got them packed. She goes, "I'm adding people to your table, LaVern." So it'll be fun.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. Yeah. I don't know what the setup is. I haven't seen it yet, but
they did a beautiful job last year, and they brought you in. That's the thing, you can do so much because you've got the hallways. I've seen with when they do the sampler, they'll take and you'll come in and you'll go down the hall to where they have all their bake sale there. That's the like the ladies that are putting it on, all the clubs, they'll have their bake sale. Then you get to the back and another open area where you can go and register for their quilt. And then you go into the vendors and up and over. And it is amazing what people come up with idea-wise at the center. It is the coolest place. It was so wild though. For forever, it was our only option.
Yeah.
But what's really kind of funny is people are coming back because they're seeing it's the only high volume option.
Yeah.
Still, you know.
And it's the only affordable option.
Thank you. Because it's super expensive to get these venues.
Yeah.
It really is. And it seems like everybody's got one now, and they're all beautiful. And the reason we were going to be a venue, and we were like, no, everybody, it was just like about that time when there was maybe one or two. We're like, maybe we need to renovate our barn and all this kind of stuff. And then we're all of a sudden just everybody. And we kind of looked at each other like, nope, not doing it, not doing it. So we're too busy to be tied up on the weekends and all that.
You've got to be dedicated.
You better be dedicated, exactly. So
and our weekend events are starting. We're starting. Basketball season ended Saturday, so Open Door Pregnancy Center is the first one of the event season.
Okay.
So we're rolling.
So like a lot of venues, then you have a season that you pretty much go, or can they get it any time?
No, you can call down there and well, you don't have to call now. You can go online on Civic Rec. You can get on our website and just see what's available. Okay.
So do you have any idea of if I wanted to throw a 2-hour kid's birthday party and play basketball, what it would cost?
When you're doing something like that, it is a little expensive because you're renting the whole center.
Okay.
Where nobody else can come in because it's a private party.
Gotcha.
So you're renting a center. You're going to have a city employee show up to turn on all the lights, make sure electricity goes out, make sure if the plumbing was anything was happened, they're on site.
Okay.
So if you
don't know for sure, don't worry about it. But I was
there's just are you going to have tables? Are you going to have chairs? Or there's all kind of things. You could be up to $500-$600.
Okay.
For a birthday party. Now that might not be bad to somebody. Somebody might say, hey, that's for us to come in there and shoot ball and maybe bring a DJ in there and turn them loose. And
that's not.
Maybe it's not.
Expensive. The reason why I know this is because we have my kiddos, everybody knows, none of them have come home. And, much to my chagrin, I just, I'm working really hard on one of them that I think might get back here. If we can get his very urban wife into her, she was raised in town, but we're working on it. And so if we can get them back here, I'll have some local grandkids. But right now, my grandkids are all scattered. The closest ones I have are in Mount Juliet. And so they did the little bitty, my little bitty granddaughter did upward basketball.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing. And she was just like, I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah.
We told her she has that golden retriever attitude. She's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just glad I'm out here and I'm running, and it's just so funny. So funny. She's hysterical. But anyway, so we had the upward basketball and they did it at the Church of the Nazarene in Mount Juliet. Uh-huh. So that's near my children's home. And so they said, we're going to do, the older boy's going to be double digits, the oldest of the grandkids turning 10 in July. And so we have to coordinate our date, because we have our mission trip in July. We have all these things. And I'm like, okay, we're going to be out of the country this week. Don't have a party.
Right.
And so we were talking about they're going to rent the gym at the Church of the Nazarene, just a little gym, $300.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. And they thought that was cheap.
Wow.
So you're probably pretty economical.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Now in Nashville and in that area, it might be a higher, because just like if they go to these cheer, they have places where the kids take gymnastics and all that, and they'll have cheer parties, and those things can get real expensive very quickly. Yeah, so you're pretty. That's what I'm saying. It is some of your most economical event venue dollar you can spend, and you can turn it into something incredible.
I thought we might be a little high on that end. I know we're inexpensive for an event, like a big event, but I thought maybe we were a little high on like a 3 or 4 hour birthday party, but apparently we're not.
So not, especially when you're talking, having to have somebody there.
Yeah.
And all those things. And now some of the local churches, their gymnasiums might be available for $100. I don't know, but I know the Church of Nazarene in Mount Juliet, that's what they were quoted, was $300. So.
Wow. Yeah, so we're right there in the ballpark. Yeah,
right, for sure. We're talking with Terry Martin. He is our Director of Parks and Rec here in Springfield. Last time we talked to him, we were frozen over. I got him in here today because I did really want to talk about the venue option of the center, because today normally Shawn Elmore would be in. We're going to plan on trying to call her in about 7:30 to see if we can't get an update. But we'll see, because she's got all kinds of things going on. She's got a youngin' in the house, so it's always crazy. But anyway, I want to kind of shift the conversation now to an update on parks. I'm assuming, how did y'all fare with all the ice and stuff? How many limbs have you got? Where are we at as far as damage? Did you have any pipes freeze, anything like that? Are we back up and running in good stead?
Our parks did well.
Yeah.
We really did good. The cemetery. Remember I told you last time I was over the cemetery department? He was like, I didn't know that.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
So
okay.
our cemetery department had quite a few trees down.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, no major damage. We were
That's
good.
awesome.
And people get upset because, the parks were not open like a week, maybe even 2 weeks after the ice storm.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because it was unusual, because usually in Tennessee, we'll have an event like that, and then a week later it's in the 70s, and we did not have that kind of weather.
It's crazy.
And we had ice, then snow, then ice, then snow layered. So we had areas in the parks where we were down there with hammers. We were down there with torches, trying to melt it, doing everything we can to get it off of this area. So, but we didn't want to damage the concrete.
Right.
So we were trying to be easy with it. You couldn't take a tractor to it like we could a road or something like that. So there was areas that we just couldn't get it up because it was front of the restrooms, or our playgrounds were just. And then all that ice, when it started to melt, it was falling off the roofs or falling off of, it was just not a safe environment.
Right.
So we had to wait.
Mm-hmm. And I had so many people. It's like, oh, my brother-in-law, my cousin, somebody fell and broke an arm and a leg. There was a lot of broken bones and that stuff.
Yeah.
And I know we were talking with them at emergency management. They had a call they had to go out on, and some teenager was out driving in this stuff and slid off the road. And then the emergency vehicles, as they're trying to get to her, they're sliding and falling, and it was just a hot mess. And you just didn't. The fact that y'all we're only down for 2 weeks, because I still had, once they sent us back to school, I still had ice on my parking lot.
Yeah.
It took forever for some of the shaded areas to thaw, and I was so careful, because I'm an old woman now. I don't want to fall, because I know what happens when old people fall. You break a hip. And, I don't, mine are titanium, but I think it's still bright, man. Anyway, it's just true. But anyway, it's so funny.
Even though the parks weren't, open at that time, kudos to the city in its own, because they had it up. They had it up and going.
Yes, they got it done.
We didn't have the electrical issues. Shout out to the electric department. We didn't have the electrical issues. Public Works, gas department jumped in there. Water department. Everybody jumped in and went to town.
I got to tell you too. I got my utility bill this week. It wasn't that bad. I've got gas everything. Okay, I love it, and I love that I've got gas, water, heat. I got a gas dryer. I've got 2 gas fireplaces. You know, we wore it out on those 2 weeks. We were thinking our gas bill's going to be $600. We were expecting it to be through the roof. Wasn't that bad.
What
it was half what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think.
And I was like, hey, okay.
Yeah.
I was really expecting it, because we had just put in a new fireplace, and that thing ran almost nonstop.
Yeah.
And because you don't know what that's going to do to your bills, when you put something like that in, and it wasn't that bad. So there you go.
Well, I think our city done well.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we had Ryan in a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about anticipating the gas bills, and he encouraged me. He was like, I really don't think it's gonna be that bad, and he was right. So where we are as far as baseball now. I know, because I have to keep up with Mount Juliet.
Yeah.
I know they're in practicing now.
Yeah.
We've got the practice schedule, so I'm guessing the kids are practicing.
Yep. Start.
When do the games start?
1st of April.
1st of April.
March 28th 8th, I think, is a Saturday. If March 28th is the last Saturday, that's our opening day.
Do you play during Easter weekend?
We do not schedule weekend games in Springfield.
Oh.
We only play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays.
God bless you.
Yeah,
and
the reason why is because, everybody likes their weekends, and we've got a lot
Mount Juliet, fix it.
We have a lot of kids that play travel ball.
Yeah.
So we want them to play travel ball, but we want them to play league ball also, that makes it where they can still play during the week and then go play in their tournament if they play a couple tournaments a month or something.
Can you please call the guy that runs Mountain Juliet and tell him this and impart this upon him? They have ruined more of my family days than I care to even think about, because we'll plan something and then they're playing some kind of ball, and it's like, just stop it.
I'm sorry, Mount Juliet. Parks and Rec board. I didn't mean to open up a can.
No, but seriously, I had, and I guess you've mentioned that, and I had just forgotten. Yeah. Oh, it's so they're doing it on Sunday now sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that's more. I think that gets into more travel ball, that we end up with Sunday games.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. But I just
like the travel leagues used to wait until, and yours still may, but most travel leagues would wait until 1 or 2 o'clock to start their games on Sunday, but they don't.
Not anymore.
They don't even do it no more.
We'll all be coming from church and trying to get there and going to early church, late church, some kind of, having devos after. I mean, because fortunately, the ones that my kids play with are very, they're godly Christian people, and they're still trying to be at worship in some capacity.
Sure.
And so I remember one time the coach's wife came in and she was in her dress and the kids were all, and we had gone to early. And we may have missed that day. I can't remember, but I think we went to early. I think ours got out early enough we were able to get there. And so, but I admired them seeing the kids coming in and seeing the importance of it. They're like, okay, they just got back here from church. That's good.
Yeah.
So I wish we didn't have our weekends just so wrapped up in sports, because it does make a hot mess for us when we're talking about family stuff.
If we get a bunch of rain, we have to, we'll have to make it up on a Saturday, but.
Yeah. Try not to, though.
We leave them open.
So what happens with the buddy league? Because you've got the special needs folks that I loved it when you first started talking about this several years ago. It's probably been 4 or 5 years ago now that y'all been in existence. And you thought, well, we're going to try to get together a team. And I mean, are you kidding me? Y'all ended up with how many that want to play this?
4.
4 different teams.
40 kids.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And kids, we're talking all ages that,
sure.
Anybody that would be in special needs, that would want to be a part of the Special Olympics, anything like that. And the kids can go in and people can be their buddy and help them. And what a great experience for those who get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just a way to serve and to enjoy it. Now that plays on Saturday, right?
Yes. Now
I was thinking that plays on Saturday.
Yes. And remember, we had the conversation. I was telling you that when we started the city, we got with Shawn Pediatrics,
right?
And still have a great relationship with them. But we, as the City of Springfield Parks Department, all of a sudden started finding out that, hey, there's a lot of stuff involved with these kids that we were not aware of,
right,
and that there needs to be more. There had to be more thought
oversight.
Put into oversight. Yeah, there just had to be more oversight put into it. Right. And so we went to Shawn and was like, here's what we want to do. Are you interested in just becoming the overseer of this program? And our facilities are wide open to you.
Right.
We'll take care of them. We'll have them ready for you. We'll do all of that. And they were like, absolutely. Cool. So now everything goes through Shawn Pediatrics, and we just get the facilities ready for them and everything. So it's available.
Springfield Baptist has been a big part of that too. Haven't they been doing a lot of volunteering for some reason? I thought you had told me Springfield Baptist had helped with that a lot. Or maybe they were in the beginning.
They've had a lot of volunteers come out. We've had some of the local churches have sponsored, done sponsorship, did shirts and medals and stuff for the kids. But once whenever we turned that all over to them, then now that's on them to decide which one they want to do that.
And if you've
they play soccer in the spring.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now and Shine started that program. So now they're doing I think they have a basketball that they do at the Y.
Okay.
So it's created.
Oh, I love it.
So since the beginning of
great.
Whenever this started, it was just baseball, and now it's rolled into basketball, soccer, and baseball in the fall back out at the park.
I love it. We had wanted to do and I forget what they call it. It's an inclusion basketball game at Greenbrier, and with our with Miss Gray's class, and I'm a little afraid because of the loss of 2 weeks of school.
Yeah.
There ain't no way we'll get that on the calendar.
Yeah.
Because it's just all this extra stuff that takes them out of class is just difficult right now.
Right.
We could do it during a homeroom time or something like that. But I just think it's such a cool thing. I've been out at Mount Juliet when they've had the teams going at the same time across the way from our guys playing, and it's so fun to watch.
The Special Olympics? Is that what
the same kind of buddy. They have a buddy league too, but I don't know what they call it. But it will be going on. Have you ever been out at the Mount Juliet parks?
Yeah, I have.
They're on top of each other. It's just like you know.
Yeah.
It stresses me out just pulling in there, man. It's like, because there's kids running everywhere and you're just crawling, you know. But but they'll have a buddy league or a special needs going on over here, and then another game going over here, and you can see and it's just such a cool thing to see, because they're so excited. If you've ever watched any of the footage from the Night to Shine, where they have their prom at the churches and stuff, same kind of reactions that they have every Saturday when they're playing and getting involved, and it's just beautiful. So I just think that's such a cool thing that y'all got going there.
Yeah, it really took off.
Don't you love it when something just works?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It just takes off and works. So that's very cool.
I can tell you this. Do I have time?
You got time,
I can tell you this. We are the official owners, I guess you could say, of Art in the Park now. So Springfield Parks and Rec.
Willow Oak in here.
Yep.
Okay.
Springfield Parks and Rec is official owners of that. Martha is doing recreation programmer. She is doing an outstanding job.
Awesome.
So now we've got a skate contest coming up at the new skate park she's put together.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yep.
What time frame is that?
Let's get back on that.
Okay.
Just want to nail it all down, make sure she gets everybody involved that she's wanting to get involved.
Right.
And we'll come back on that.
I got you, because that's the thing. There's been a few things. We're going to get him back on a couple of things that we need some follow-up on, but that for sure on the dates and stuff. And if you want to send her in here sometime, just to kind of go through
absolutely.
Events.
Yeah.
That might be a fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
And just to kind of give everybody an update on, hey, this is coming up. But Art in the Park is one of those great events. And, I mean, it's just, I love it. And it's in the summertime, but it's an opportunity to get some Christmas shopping done.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about that.
Yeah.
But
and Martha, when she was with Willow Oak, she ran that. So she was either over it herself, or she was like second in charge.
Okay.
So she's got a lot of experience in it and everything. So and anytime, like, if you want to talk sports or anything, let me know. We can get Seth or Jacob or Martha, get the staff
get the team in here.
Yeah,
cool.
They're in the grind on it now.
Okay, well, I'll give them a call because I would love to get kind of an events calendar and stuff and talk a little bit more about that. And kind
that's
of
a great idea.
Coming up. Because, I mean, it just seems like all of a sudden I'll see a crowd at the center, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, get them in here and let them. Jacob he's recreation programmer over athletics, and he was at the center all day Saturday handing out plaques to the championship teams, because that was our tournament championship day. And so, they're boots on the ground. I
love it.
They're all in it. And that's what makes our department go.
Well, very good.
Is our staff.
I love it.
Great staff.
Outstanding. We got a great city. Just a wonderful place to be, if you haven't figured it out, being here in Springfield. And here's the man, Director of Parks and Rec. And if you have any questions, just reach out to him, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe an idea for something new Because, I mean, that's how we ended up with our dog park.
We just cleaned out a section of the woods out at Travis Price Park because a crew came in wanting to have a place to drive their remote control little four-wheel drive remote control trucks and stuff. And
nice.
I met them out there 2 Saturdays ago, and now it's cleared out for them. And we told them to
have at it.
Have a blast.
I've got my nephews. My nephew and my grandnephews, and well, the grandniece too. They get out there and we were talking some high dollar things, and they'll go to construction sites where there's all these high banks of dirt, and they'll flying and all that. And he sent me some video, and I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And it's an art, and it's something else.
We cleared it out, and they were like, hey, don't get rid of the rocks and don't get rid of the tree roots, balls that are keep all those in there. So we just cleared it out for them, and now I
need to come and see what you did, because we've got that little wooded area on our property that's reforested, and that would be perfect for that, to my grands, and any of my kids, neighborhood kids come down there. Somebody came flying down our road with a side-by-side, bunch of teenagers yesterday, and just went down to the creek. They have a ball, so we let them come play. So they have fun, but that would be something they could come and do in our woods. Yeah, that'd be cool. I've even thought about doing one of the disc golf things in my woods.
Yeah.
To see how y'all did that, so.
Come on out.
Come on. I got to check it out. Well, I've got to get Shawn on the phone. She'll be going, LaVern, you got to call me. Anything before we go?
No, that's it. Okay. Just, I think it's going to be a beautiful week. Get out to the parks and
get out there.
Have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. And when you see staff, tell them thank you. Because they work hard.
Can you name all the parks real quick before you go for everybody?
J. Travis Price Park, Gardner Street Park, Legion Field Park, Martin Luther King Jr. Park, and the center.
And the center. Which one of those is the dog park?
Gardner Street.
Gardner Street's where the dog park is.
Yes.
So that's part of and where is the skate park?
Gardner Street is the dog park, the skate park, the all-inclusive playground, the pickleball courts, tennis court.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought.
And a trailhead to the Greenway.
Okay. And
Travis Price is disc golf course, remote control vehicle or trucks in the woods now, fishing, walking trail, 2 basketball courts, 2 sand volleyball courts, baseball and softball fields, and pavilions, and the Post 48 building is also out there.
That's right.
That's at J. Travis Price Park. Martin Luther King Jr. Park is walking trails, all-inclusive playgrounds, soccer fields, junior pro football field, splash pad, and all-inclusive playground with pavilion that's rentable.
Okay. I mean, come on. It's got it. You did great. Thank you.
Everything's there.
You got it. You did great. I got to call Shawn. But anyway,
okay.
Terry Martin, appreciate you. And if you need them, go to the center and see them, get in touch with them, and we'll get some of your folks in here.
Oh, I'll be talking with them all morning this morning. Shawn, if you're listening, you better behave this morning.
Headed that way. See you later, friend. Thank you so much. And we'll be having Terry back in and some of his staff in, of course. But right now, we're going to see if we can't make a quick phone call to my friend Shawn Elmore. Super busy this morning, as you know. She is getting ready for that big gala that's happening tonight at the center. I'm super excited to be going and hosting a table myself. And we're going to see if we can get her on the phone. We'll see. By 1 ring-a-dingy, 2 ring-a-dingy. We'll see what happens.
Shawn.
Hey, you're there. And you're able to pick up the phone. Good morning. Terry just left. I had Terry come in and fill your slot because I thought, well, I wanted him to talk about how the center transforms for these events. It's just the coolest thing ever. And what you guys did last year blew my mind. It was so cool. But are you just insanely busy this morning? Of course you are.
Well, it's funny. I just told Amy we already have gotten text messages about folks adding to their table this morning.
Oh, no.
In the last 72 hours, we've had 20 changes to tables. So we literally have. We're just gonna keep working, keep doing, and it's just a different setup, obviously, than the chili challenge, because that's kind of wild, and then this is a whole different thing. So our caterer is feeding 550 people.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What's on the menu?
That's what we've based it on.
What's on the menu?
It is a chicken. It's like a caprese chicken with orzo and green beans and salad, and she's got an assortment of desserts.
Of course.
So, yeah, she's pretty good. She's a very Miss Kim at It's a Pair Catering. She's fantastic. She's been, you know what? And I'm going to brag on her. One year, and this happens to be just her team loves us. And we've gotten several bids before, but she always comes back around. And I'll just be real honest. We've supported her for years, but she does a lot of our volunteer stuff. And, you know, a lot of times she does it at cost. She has a heart for what we do. But one year, literally the entire crew was paid, and they all turned around and gave their donation, gave their entire wage back that night to our.
Wow. And
I mean, that's just the depth of what her crew has done. So I brag on them. They've been so dedicated to our mission the last several years, and so it's such a blessing. I know last year everybody said, I can't believe, and you know, when we looked at each other and said we have to put these tables in the room, and we're going to have the catering down the hall, everybody thought we were crazy, but it worked out so well.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we're doing this year. We're actually squeezing more tables in than we have. We've got the max amount of tables we've ever had. So we don't have anywhere else to go. And the center is so gracious to us. We love working with Seth and Terry, and now Martha's there. And so Miss poor sweet little Martha's never worked with us like this. And she's like, and we said, we got this. We're kind of OCD professionals at this. And, so we want you to walk in and think you're outside of Springfield somewhere. You know, we transform it. So I hope that you had that experience. I'm glad you did.
Well, and last year it blew my mind. And I thought the catering or the food down the hall was brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant, because it gave you a different setting out in the main room itself. And it just, I don't know. I just thought it was brilliant. And so I thought it worked very, very well. And everybody else did too. But unpack the night for me. What should we expect? Tell us what time to get there. How are you going to how's the night going to unfold?
Well, you know, we are going to have you enter. We've got some guitarists that are going to have you enter.
Awesome.
And then we have a worship band inside. And you know, really and truly, I love the fact that folks just get there, and we want you to come in and just be able to gather a little while. And we want to just really unpack that kind of fairly quickly and we want you to come in and have an experience, and then go home feeling like I don't know, like I really want you to have that experience of, man, you know, this is a good thing, and let's do something well for our community. And then when we go home, I mean, I want you to walk away with a feeling of, wow, you know. So we have a video that Big Screen Productions, Mr. Barry and his crew have done. I know that my crew, because they know these stories, and then I've let one person view it. It's pretty shocking this year. I think I jokingly am going to say it's got a adult content only, and I laughed and said, you hear worse at Walmart or out in public, you know. But literally, like, some stories are just really there's some sweet stories that there's longevity there. There's one client that was an OG. There are actually two clients in their stories, but there's an OG client that's been with tied to us she was one of 17 years, and she's in our community, and I love that. She was willing to tell her story a little bit, and just really sweet. And then, you know, there's a gentleman that is a community partner, and very sweet family that just really, I just love the story of, you know, hey, I can give back now, and both families are doing that. It's just really neat to see how we've impacted them so long ago, but yet they're willing to come and be able to impact our families. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
our families now, So, seeing those little seeds that we planted are beautiful. One young lady that is part of our story is kind of neat, and her longevity and seeing her transformation is almost shocking. One of my staff members literally said, "I did not recognize her," and so I hope that some of the folks that worked on that case with me, I hope that that's their reaction. So we'll see how that goes. But really a neat little thing. You get dinner and you get a warm and fuzzy, I hope, and you walk away thinking, man, I'm part of something that's good and want to be a part of something that's working to change the culture of someone's family. So
You mentioned a client that was an OG client, so they've been with you from the start,
yeah.
is what you mean by that?
Yeah, this lady, she was pregnant and came to us in 17 years ago. So what was that?
Wow.
2009 or 10. Yeah.
Wow.
She
And that
was,
y'all been
yeah,
at it
her
this
daughter's,
that long.
her
That's
daughter,
crazy.
we've been, yeah, 18 years this year.
Wow.
Yeah. Or, yeah, 18 years. She was pregnant. And so her daughter is 17,
Wow.
going on 17. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy days, huh? We've been doing this a little bit.
It had, yeah,
People
for sure.
want to know why we built this program. It's not happened overnight. And
Mhm.
you think we're 17 years strong and still, and I'm, the funny thing is I think the vision that I have this evening is we're going to pull back the veil and you get to see behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah. I love it. And I
So,
think that's
yeah,
great. I mean, I think that people need to see that. They need to see the why
yeah.
of all of it,
There's high conflict things. There's toxic things that we deal with every day.
Yeah.
And I talked to one of probably a spiritual mom to me before I made a decision about some parts of this video. I talked to Barry, I talked to Catherine, which is the producer. And, we had some really hard content, and I really suffered over whether or not to put that in there because I thought, do we really kind of rip the Band-Aid off and let you see that really gnarly kind of stuff? And this little young lady's like, and I want to really honor these women and families and say, how far they've come. And sometimes you don't really get to see that, because you want to just, here we are and we look good and we're great and we're doing so well, but you really don't know how we got there. And sometimes we have those stories and we're okay with sharing that. Sometimes we're not, but these particular folks were like, we're just so far on the other side and we're doing so well. But when you hear the statistics of one of these women, it is unreal. It is just like, whoa, like the length and the depth and the width of what we went through with her. And I don't know if I'll share this tonight, but one of my employees that has gotten married and moved away is gonna be with us, and she's very sweet to come back this way and be here tonight. But she used to beg me. She'd say, "Please don't even come on that side of the building, because when you come near that side of the building, she kind of goes crazy." Because I would walk in the room and she would go nuts, and it was just the spiritual battle that was happening at the time. But and that's really sometimes what we see. Tonight we have an attorney that's coming with her client that I think in the beginning of her story was, you're asking my client to do something that's not what you were asked to do. But really and truly, when I met her client, I saw this poor, beaten and battered and bullied, voiceless shell of a person. And I said, "Sweetheart, we've got to get you to a different level." And, we asked her to do some life coaching, some counseling, all these things. And the attorney just kind of gave me a little bit of pushback. And I was like, look, do we want to just barely surface this, or do we really want to get her some help? And to see this person that couldn't look you in the eye and was so, just bullied by these people, and to see her today is the transformation of this little girl is amazing. And I'm so proud of her. And she said, had I not come here, and she said, I don't know what I'd be like. And so she's reunited with her child, and there's some things that are going on that's just so beautiful. And so I love that. I love that she's becoming a strong mom and navigating and being a part of some things. And I'm so proud of the young lady that she's become as well. So lots of great stuff. But her attorney could have said, let's find you somewhere else to go. But instead, her attorney said, I think these people are really trying to help you. You know, maybe we should try this.
I love it.
And so we were able through some incredible folks that donated. You know, she had to pay for her supervised visits, which in all reality, maybe she really didn't need, but God, I believe, sent her to us for some other services. But we were able to help her through some generosity of some people. So it's really kind of a neat story, you know, at the end of the day. Like, you know, sometimes people think they're here for one thing, but they have so much more beautiful opportunities.
I love it. I can't wait to hear when you start unpacking what's going to be in the video. I can't wait to see it. You know, because even though Barry and I, you know, Barry and Rebecca and I are all really good friends, and I never get a sneak peek. You know, it's always I have to wait and see it there, and it's always just breathtaking. And I've even seen people involved in your program that I've seen through the pathways of Celebrate Recovery, because you know you talk about sharing those raw stories. That's what we do in testimonies at Celebrate Recovery all the time. And the effectiveness of that is so powerful. So I really applaud you for pushing to do that, because, man, that's where change happens, is when people see what can take place, what God can do with a life to completely transform it. It's just so beautiful.
And what happens behind the scenes is we'll expand these videos. So Barry will break these down, and Catherine, and what we'll do is when these folks walk in to start their programs, they'll see the raw footage. They'll see the expanded versions of some of these stories. And that is what's so amazing is, they get, like, you guys won't see the whole story. You know what I mean? You'll see a snippet. Barry cracks me up. Barry's going to fuss at me because I'm going to say this on up in there. But I want to have an hour-long video. And he's like, Shawn, it's too long. You know, he wants a 10-minute video. He's like, we can cut some of this out. I'm like, no, expand it. So I think this video got expanded by about a minute and a half. But it just is so precious. Like, I wish that we could sit and I wish there wasn't a speaker. I wish that these folks got to just share, because it's so, like, some of this stuff is so raw and beautiful. And when you get to see the transformation in their life, like there's one part of this video, literally in the beginning of one girl's story, you get to see one snip, you get to see a picture, and then you get to see her talking. And it's like, is that the same person? It is. And it's not anything we've done. It's the investment that we've been allowed to make in her life through the generosity of our community and getting to see her kids and thrive. You know, one of the beautiful things that we sat across the table and had lunch together last week, and she said one of the things that she said she said, we've asked the girls what they're thankful for, and she said one of the girls said, Mom, we're thankful for safety, and you know we get to be in a safe house and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, wow, like that's so important, because I know the backstory of all these things, and I know the stories of, and it's like, yes, that's what we wanted, like to have these moments of normalcy and safety and structure and stability. And if you read my court reports, a lot of times that is what we're trying to build and gain towards. And this sweet girl is living it out in a beautiful life.
It's priceless.
It took a long time. It took years to get here. You know, and when you hear her statistics, and I won't put them on air today, I'll come back.
Okay.
But when you hear the statistics of this one client, it was worth every painstaking moment. You know, she had to come in my office and sit before me or call me and send pictures because her mental health was in such a state. And she said, Miss Shawn, if you wouldn't have done that, if you wouldn't have made me call you or send you pictures, she said, I wouldn't have taken a shower. I wouldn't have gotten out of bed. I wouldn't have brushed my teeth those days. I wouldn't have been accountable. And she said, "You saved my life.
Wow.
You made me do this." And I said, "I didn't do it." I said, "I did it because I believed in you." And I'm wearing a T-shirt right now that says, "You can do hard things."
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that. And I always talk about setting the bar. And I usually, use my hand. And I wish I was in front of the camera with you today, because I said, we're going to set the bar here because you can do it, but we're going to teach you the tools and help you get here.
Mm-hmm.
Because this isn't my standard. God has a standard for living, and it is a beautiful life that He wants to give you. But we don't want to stay down here in the gutter. We don't want to stay in the weeds. God has a standard. Stand, rise up.
I love it.
And she's done it. And so, and there's another beautiful story that if I get into it, I will cry this morning, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to be strength-based today.
I got you.
But our ultrasound story today
is this one?
It gets me every time.
Are we going to hear it tonight?
You are.
Oh,
you are. And
okay.
Yeah, you are.
I'm excited to be there. Excited to be there.
Yeah.
Just so honored to be a part of this.
Stories.
Do what?
Yeah.
Say again.
Just so many sweet stories
Mm-hmm.
in their own right, in their own dynamic. We have a family that Dad was court ordered here, and he was like, "Why am I here?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he realized what a great tool this was, and he asked if his girlfriend could come, and she was going to have a baby, and she was older. She said, "I'm 30-something years old having a baby," and so she came, and she got to be a part of our services, and we have just found such a love for these families. And he was the first guy that, when we flooded last year, he was the first one to step up and say, "Miss Shawn, how can I help?" And got in here and did stuff for us. And so we love this little couple. They're just so precious. And their little boy, Case, just had his first birthday this weekend. And so we've celebrated life with them, for a year. And he graduated our program and still coming. He's still coming. And they're just enjoying life with us. And just such a great thing to celebrate, overcoming and just being a part of someone's, story. So just fun, neat stuff when you see people going from, surviving to thriving, and watching them blossom and bloom into, just, cultivating great life. So.
Well, 550 of us are going to be there with you tonight to see all this happen, and to unpack these stories. And for those that were not able to get in, because I know y'all have had people trying to get in and you just don't have room, So you'll come back and unpack all of it for us next month, as long as everybody's in your household well.
Yeah. We've had some challenges. Our staff today, I've got 2 out sick right now.
Man.
Got a call this morning from one that told me yesterday I'm not feeling well. And then we've had Miss Penny is my right brain, and I'll just be honest with you, she's been really sick this week, and so she's headed. Actually, she's probably sitting at the doctor right now. So Amy is my left brain, and she has been incredible. But we have an incredible team. They are ready to roll up their sleeves and go. We've got volunteers on the ready. We've got people ready to steam tablecloths, because Friday we ordered an entire new set of tablecloths because all the other ones weren't going to work, because we had to reconfigure and order tables on Friday. So Thank you, Grand Central Party, for making that happen and ordering additional chairs. And so, everybody who's listening is going to be there tonight. There's not a bad seat in the house, and I know that everybody's going to be gracious, because I think we've had to jig and rearrange everything. So just thank you for everyone's graciousness and just willingness to just be in that room. I think is a blessing to us, and so we're just so grateful for such a great community.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get there tonight. It's going to be beautiful. What time do the doors open?
Doors will open. We have said 5:30, but I'll just be real honest with you. We're going to open them a few minutes early, because I'm afraid if we open at 5:30, we're not going to have time to get everybody in, and so we're just gonna be ready for you guys about 5:15. We've got lots of parking. Overflow parking is going to be in the Cheatham Park School, and so we're going to have parking all around. You know how that goes at
Yep.
the center. So
Yeah,
we
for
just
sure.
appreciate everybody's patience, and let's get in there. We're ready to go.
I love it. I love it, friend. Anything else before we wrap up? I got to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty before we wrap up our time together, but I can let you get back to work.
The best people in the whole world,
Aren't
right
they?
there.
Aren't they? I just love
Yeah.
them. I
Yeah.
love them. So, but you'll get to, if you come tonight, I'll introduce you. And to Catherine too. You know, I'm getting to know Catherine through the work that they've been doing together. And it's just such a pleasure to work with them. And that's the thing I talk about Barry and Rebecca all the time, that they're so involved in the community. So involved in the community.
Yeah.
And so that's why
Yeah.
you'd want to work with them for sure. Well, all right, sister. I love you. I'll see you tonight.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Anytime. I will see
Bye-bye.
you tonight, and you just try to get some rest before tonight.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sweetheart. That was Shawn Elmore with Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. We are, hang on just a second, I'm messing up my phone here. But we're with Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. Tonight is the big gala. And if you're going to be there, I will see you there. Cannot wait. They say the doors open. Will be open about 5:15. To get everybody in and get them settled, but it's going to be a wonderful night. Before we go, I need to talk about my friends Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Barry, of course, is in charge of that film that you're going to see tonight from Big Screen Productions that he does with Catherine, and it's going to be just spectacular. It always is, but the reason why he's good at that is because he was a media marketing vice president for 17 years up in Nashville before he went full-time with real estate. And he brings that expertise to you to make sure your property is seen in the absolute best light. So when you're ready to hit the market with your property, it's going to have videography, photography, drone footage, walkthrough tours, whatever is needed to make sure that everybody sees it so you can get top dollar for your property. He put up on his social media just in the last 24 hours that within 15 minutes of each other, two different sellers in Robertson County reached out and said, hey, I'm getting ready to put my home on the market. So he says the market is heating up. So get ready. It's that time of year. People just, in that transition mode, they're like, okay, before we get through the warm weather, I want to get my home listed and sold and moved and do all those things. This is when it starts happening. Interest rates are down a little bit, but now Barry will tell you, really just don't pay attention to the interest rates. Just know that when interest rates are low, prices are for the home is higher, and if the interest rates go high, the house prices go lower. So it all balances out in the end. The big thing is if you're going to buy, you have to make sure you know how much home you can qualify for. You can reach out to Barry or Rebecca, and they will help you navigate those waters to figure out exactly what you can afford to buy. Because if you can't, get a loan for it, you got to also figure out your down payments, all those things as well. You will not be able to play in the game when you're trying to get that home of your dreams. You also, if you're going to sell, you may think that your property is worth X number of dollars, but if the market analysis in the area does not jive with that, you are not going to be able to find a buyer that can find a lender that is going to loan them the money for that home unless they come to you with cash in hand. So all those kinds of things are the things that Barry and Rebecca can go over with you. Again, he's got a couple of new listings that are going to be popping here. Just in the last 24 hours, he mentioned they had a big open house. Rebecca had a big open house up in Franklin, Kentucky yesterday. And it's just all kinds of wonderful things happening in the real estate market. If you want to know more about it, reach out to Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty, Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or by BUIRobertsonCounty.com, or you can reach them at 615-504-7424, 615-504-7424, or 7425. And always, please let them know that U-Turn sent you. That wraps us up for today. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for another day on 1100 WSGI and One Street Over. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.